on a 7-day backpack in the High Sierra, North Lake to South Lake Loop, 54 miles. Just got started. Mark Wallace and Rick Dreyer are ahead of me on this path. Taking it nice and slow. This is my first time out since my injury to my Achilles heel in my left foot. So I'm going to see how I perform. But it's beautiful up here. It should be fun. This is Loch Leven Lake. This is where we're going to camp tonight. It's our first stop on day one. It's about a 3 to 4 mile hike out of the trailhead. Short day on day one. Tomorrow will be a longer day. Probably more like 10 miles. But it's a beautiful lake. So did everybody sleep good?
Well, my first night is usually pretty fitful sleep. Maybe tonight will be better.
One of those bone-chilling sleeps.
You cold?
Tension.
Here's my tent. It's called a tarp tent. It weighs ounces. It's Rick. You see the lake in the background. There's Mark.
Lithium sleeping bag.
Morning of the second day.
It's about 3 pounds and made it to 0. It never keeps me warm at 0. I don't believe it keeps me warm at 20 degrees, but it does keep me warm at 30
As you can see, we all have lake views. This is morning of the second day. We're leaving Loch Leven Lake and heading up to Paiute Pass, which is straight ahead, dead straight ahead, to the left of that snowfield. So that's our direction today. When we get to the pass, which is about 2.4 miles, we go down about 7 miles to a meadow where we'll camp tonight. We had a really good night here at Loch Leven Lake. There is Paiute Pass. We're almost there. Rick has gone back down, didn't feel well. So it's just Mark and I at this point. We are at Paiute Pass, 11:37 a.m. on Saturday. Nice trip up here. And now we have about 7 miles of downhill. You can see it's beautiful country. A lot of lakes. That is Paiute Pass, where we've been. And now we are headed down into the trees to our next campground. We've lost a lot of altitude, gotten down into the deep green in the trees, and shouldn't be long and we'll be at our destination for Camp 2, which is Hutchison Meadows. Here's our campground for day 2. It was a long day getting down here. What's up today?
Well, today we're going to be hiking down to the connection with the John Muir Trail, 5.3 miles, 1,500 feet of elevation loss from about 9,400 feet down to about 8,000, and then we're going to gain about 400 feet up on the John Muir Trail over about 3.8 miles to Franklin Meadow, which is our next campsite. And it's a beautiful day, no clouds. It's wonderful.
What are you guessing? 5 hours? 4
5
hours?
hours or less.
Okay, let's go. Let's go to it.
Okay, we're off.
Leaving Hutchison Meadow. We have just left Camp 3, Hutchison Meadow, and are now on the trail. You can see it's beautiful here. Lots of greenery. We're deeply in the trees. The stream's right over this way. You can hear it as you walk, which is a soothing sound. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. We're both feeling really good, Mark and I. It's going to be fun. This is why I love this high Sierra. Just arriving at the John Muir Trail. We are now on the John Muir Trail in Kings Canyon National Park. Fourth day. It's the bridge we came over to get to this campsite. There's Mark and his tent. And our next stop is the north shore of Evolution Lake, which is where we'll camp tonight. And there's my tarp tent over by the river. Go.
Well, good morning, Bill. Today's Monday, August the 28th, 2016, and we're heading up to Evolution Valley. Some switchbacks up to the valley itself, and then we follow the valley floor for a while, and finally about a 700-foot vertical climb up to Evolution Lake, which will be our campsite. So supposedly very nice views along the way, and we'll enjoy the first part of Evolution Valley.
Great, onward and upward.
Ford of Evolution Creek.
And we got to wade across this river.
Piece of cake! McClure Ranger Station. Evolution Lake. One of the Great Lakes of the Sierra.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, Bill.
What a beautiful campsite and lake.
All right.
This is spectacular.
Oh, it certainly is.
We're here at Evolution Lake. It's the fourth night of camping. You can see Mark's tent in the background. My tarp tent's right there. We thought we'd give you a little review of the food we eat on these massive, lengthy backpacks in the High Sierra. So Mark, I understand you don't cook. You don't bring a stove or anything.
That's right, Bill. I don't bring a stove. I don't bring a pot. I found over the years I really didn't like much of the food that I was able to cook for myself. So I've gone over to completely uncooked food. And I have this bear canister which is required, and the bear canister holds 4 kinds of trail mix, dried fruit, which includes dried Bing cherries, dried mango with chili pepper, and then wild blueberries dried, and then a dozen Cliff Bars.
I can say those chili peppers, the mango chili, absolutely delicious. We finished off a whole pack in one sitting.
So that's my food. Open up and eat it. Very easy.
Okay, well that's good. Everybody does it a little
Go.
different. All right, so I'll describe to you my food planning for these trips. It's a little different than Mark's. I bring a stove. This is a lightweight stove. It'll boil water in, even at altitude, it'll boil water in a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Put a pot on top of it and I cook. I cook almost all my meals. Try to make them interesting. So the first couple of nights, I can't show you the food because we ate it, but the first night I think we had noodles. I share with Mark. He takes a little cup here and there, and so we share, but I had noodles and the first night, which was really good. Second night I had some Asian noodles, so I had Asian sauce that put in the noodles, and that was good. Tonight's dinner plan, surprise surprise, more noodles, but I brought some fettuccine, so more than we're going to need, so I'm going to see how much we can eat of that tonight. And then Korean stir fry. This is a simmer sauce Korean stir fry. So we're going to have Korean pasta tonight. And I love Korean food, and so that's what we're going to have tonight, or I'm going to have, and I'm going to share with Mark. I also have, probably for tomorrow night, some taco sauce that I'll put on the noodles that we don't eat tonight. I also brought along some concentrated tomato paste, which I'll mix up to get some sauce for the pasta tomorrow night, along with the taco sauce. Don't want to forget the tortillas. I use these tortillas to make fajitas. And by the way, to make fajitas, we need fajita mix, which would be cheese, and this is spicy cheese and sausage. So you put that on the fajita and or on the tortilla, and you can cook up a nice fajita. What else we got here? Of course, you need to have peanut butter. So I've got peanut butter here for lunch. If I need it for lunch, I'll put it on that tortilla. Also, got to have some butter to flavor the food, and for flavor, I also brought seasoning salt, which is good to season up the food that I cook, and then last but not least, cayenne pepper, which I throw on everything in massive quantities because I like things hot. I think that's about it. There's probably more stuff down in my bear canister. This is a bear canister, by the way. All your food goes in the bear canister. It has a top that goes on it, and that's to prevent bears from robbing you of your food and digging around your camp and stealing your food. So and that's required by the forestry, is that you use these bear canisters up here to keep the bears away. That's about it. We're about ready to cook up our Korean pasta and let you know how it goes and how we like it.
Well, today is Tuesday, August 30th, 2016. Our hike today takes us through Evolution Basin, around Evolution Lake, then past Sapphire Lake, then past Wanda Lake, and finally McDermott Lake. After McDermott Lake, we have a short climb up to Muir Pass, which is at almost 12,000 feet, just a little under 12,000, and then from there we descend into LeConte Canyon, first passing Helen Lake and then into LeConte Canyon to our camp at Big Pine Meadow. And there it is. inlet of Evolution Lake, looking back, looking north. Beautiful.
Here's Mark coming up on our 5th day. Just left Evolution Lake. The scenery here is spectacular. How are we doing this morning?
Oh, I'm just doing great, Bill.
Yeah, me too.
A beautiful day and beautiful country here.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of lakes coming up too.
Very nice weather. Can't beat it.
Nope.
Sapphire Lake. Simply awesome. High Sierra. Beautiful Wanda Lake.
This is Muir Pass. And from that point on, it's downhill to our next camp. This is looking down Muir Pass, which is where we came from. And right at the pass is an interesting hut, rock hut that was made.
And here is Mark's campsite. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Big Peat Meadow.
This is my tent site on night 5. Great location near the bubbling river.
Today is Wednesday, August 31st, 2016. We're here at our campsite at Big Peat Meadow, getting ready to head to the junction with the trail to Bishop Pass. We'll then proceed up that hill to most of the way, but not all the way, to Bishop Pass, and try to camp by some lakes in Doozy Basin at an elevation of about 11,300 feet. That should do it.
Here comes Mark. We're on our way to Doozy Basin. Big, long, steep uphill climb, but we're doing okay, right, Mark?
We're doing good, Bill. Good day. Good
That's
day.
where we were down there. Just arriving at Ducey Basin. That's Mark up there, and behind him is, I believe, Bishop Pass, where we head up tomorrow to head home. Here comes Mark on day 6, headed for our campground at Ducey Basin. I found a little lake up here, privacy and good camping spots, so
11,400 feet.
it's been a good day.
All right. There.
There's the lake, a little
I'm glad you spotted that, Bill. I didn't see that at all.
little teardrop lake. Perfect.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 1st, 2016. We're here at our camp in Ducey Basin at 11,400 feet. And we're ready to head back over Bishop Pass, descend Bishop Canyon to our trailhead at South Lake, and then drive home. So this is the final leg of our journey. Here we are in middle Ducey Basin, surrounded by the great peaks of the Palisades. Dead ahead appears to be Mount Sill, and then to the left, Thunderbolt, North Palisade, Starlight Peak. Out of sight is Agassiz, which we climbed last year. High Sierra. Here we are in the Ducey Basin looking at the Palisades, and from left to right, I believe Agassiz, Winchell, then I get a little confused, it's Thunderbolt Peak, North Palisade, Polymmonium, and all the way on the right, Mount Sill. The view from Mount Sill is reputed to be the best in the entire Sierra.
It's cold this morning, but we're almost in the sun.
Be there in a few minutes.
So we just crossed over Bishop Pass, and we're now going down to South Lake to the parking lot, and from there we'll drive into Bishop and have a nice lunch. You can see this is the land of the lakes up here. It's so beautiful. This is the South Lake, and we are almost at the trailhead.